question. Are you bullish or bearish in this market? Leave a comment below and let me know. The market is going up a couple of days, then down big a couple of days. What do? Should I hold or sell my positions? Market direction affects over 80% of the stocks in the market. Making sure you stay on the right side of the market is paramount. Let me walk you through what to do and when to do it. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube live stream, Trending Thursdays. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. One of my two favorite days of the week, Tuesday for Training Tuesday, teaching people how to use the VectorVest software, and Thursday for Trending Thursday, bringing stocks that have made the news to the forefront as a way of seeing if they're good stocks to be in, if the news has changed that. But we also use the power of the VectorVest software to analyze those stocks to give us better insight as to what to do or not do with those stocks. So welcome to everyone. If you can hear us, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with a VV Nation, to let me know that everything is coming across loud and clear. And as that's happening, I have my producer to the right of me over here, Joey. Say hi, Joey.
Hi.
He's my producer. He's the guy in the background making sure that everything is good to go. There is no partnership between Nikolai and GM. We're going to talk about that there, Suprema. It's not that there is a partnership, but GM took a big stake within Nikola. That is the story. But that's going to be one of my stories today as well. So VV Nation is popping up bigly. I did say bigly. Didn't I say bigly? Bigly right now. I see VV Nations all over the place. Say again.
Unfortunately, you did.
Unfortunately, I did. Got a lot of people in the room. So all my new people, thank you for showing up here. All my regulars, thank you for showing up here as well. Couple of things. If you're new to the channel, if you like the content as we go through and you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like the content as well, don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right, so we'd love to continue to grow this channel. Those are two good ways for us to do it. Subscribe to the channel and, give me a number of likes today, Joey. What are we looking for?
250.
250 likes is what our goal is today. All right. So we're going to put that out there. Something else, if you can, take this video that you're watching right now, the live stream, share it on your social media. You never know who's in your circle who may be interested in learning more about stocks. Give them an opportunity to join us here on Trending Thursday. And guess what? If they've got some questions, let them ask the questions. And so share this if you can. Link this out to your social media. Just also let you know, this is podcastable. All right. Yes, you are here live, but if you've missed this live presentation, you can listen on a podcast. Wherever you go to for podcasts, search for Trending Thursday. You can find our podcasts. Our podcasts are very rapidly getting downloaded, which is a blessing. Thank you so much for that. But in case you miss it live, you can listen while you're shopping, while you're driving, whatever you want. I love technology today. Gives you access to everything you want right at your fingertips. See this mobile phone? We also have a mobile app for VectorVest. So if you like the software that I'm going to show today, especially if you're brand new, we have a mobile version that you can put onto your phone to analyze any stock. Let's say you're out and about and you see a company and you say, well, I see them around a lot. Let me see what VectorVest has to say about them. You can type that in right on your mobile phone and get quick analysis while you're out and about. So Joey's going to put a link in the chat for you guys if you're interested in a VectorVest trial. All right, click that link. We're offering a trial for 30 days for 99 cents. For 99 cents, folks. If you're on the podcast right now, it's www.vectorvest.com/YT. So if you're not here live and you want that information to get on top of a trial for 99 cents, www.vectorvest.com/YT, as in Yankee Tango, for all you guys that are military-minded people. Also, we do have a store with merchandise right below this video right now. For those of you on podcast, you do need to go to the VectorVest channel and open up below the channel to see the store. We have shirts, we have mugs, we have, what is that? We have masks. You know that we're in a pandemic, so we're offering VectorVest masks as well. If you want to follow me on social media outside of YouTube, type in the room for me at Glenn Tompkins Jr. You can follow me on Twitter, and you can follow me on Instagram. All right, at Glenn Tompkins Jr. Joey put it in the chat for you. For those who are listening, it's at GLENNTOMPKINSJR. Glenn Tompkins Jr. Use the @ sign. I post a lot of things outside of YouTube. You'll notice that if you are following us on YouTube, I've got a couple of polls up there. I'm trying to get more interaction with you guys. I want to see what you guys think. So I'm trying to engage with you. Help me out. Engage. Let me know what's on your mind out there as well. And today we do have another stock market confession that's going to be brought to you by Professor Profit. So he'll come in today to just do a stock market confession. And who is it? It's Courtney. Courtney, are you here today? It was Courtney's confession that we're going to read off today. Joey's going to put another link in there for you. If you want to get your stock market confession entered for me to read, it's www.vectorvest.com/confession. Try that. /confession. All right, go to that link, fill out all of the information that's there, and if I read your confession on the live stream, you will be entered into a contest to get a free mug. All right, to get a free mug. All right, so with all of that, I've got all of the other things that I needed to take care of before we get started. Once again, thank you so much for being here. All right, so the first story that we're going to get into, actually not a story yet. We always talk about market timing, right? Because the market's direction affects about 80% of the stocks in the market. So being on the right side of the market is very important. So I'm going to ask you a question. Think about this for a second. Are you bullish or bearish on the market? Give me a comment. Type it in the comment. Are you bullish or bearish on the market? And no answer is wrong or no answer is right. I'm just trying to get a feel, trying to get a temperature of what you guys think about the market. All right, so in the comments, type it in for me. Again, this is my way to interact with you to get a feel of what my audience, what my VV Nation is thinking. I see them coming across the screen right now. If you are, again, listening by way of a podcast, you can always go to the VectorVest YouTube channel and you can answer as well. Type in the comments when you get home later. And let me know what you think. Are you bullish or bearish? I got middle of the road. Drew said, slap your mama. I don't want to. You want to? I ain't slapping my mama. My mama's not here. And you know something? She's in heaven. And if I even thought about slapping my mama, she'd come down from heaven and still kick my butt. So no, I ain't slapping my mama. I'm just putting that out there. Not me. Joe, you going to slap your mama?
If she can slap me into next year, I will.
I hear you. What's up?
Will you get your tablet out of the shot?
Oh, well, why didn't you tell me my tablet was in the shot? All right. You happy now? All right. So with that, I got a lot of bullish, a lot of bearish. I like Matthew says bullish until it's bearish. Drew looked at one of my polls. He says it's a dead cat bounce. And so we'll look at and hang time, Kay. Listen, I love my mama to death. I honestly do. But you know something? I can also have fun while I do what I do. All right. I can always have fun while I do what I do. All right. So with that, and getting that information about what you feel about the market, Let's start off with the homepage of the VectorVest software. If you don't have the subscription to the software, at least right now you're getting a glimpse at what the software looks like. So the homepage is, we say it's set up like the front page of a newspaper, where market timing is always the headline story. So if we look at our market timing gauge today, as of right now, we're one tick into the red, which gives us more of a bearish feel. Our guidance that goes out to our subscribers says VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time. So folks, not only do we tell you what's going on in the market, we give you guidance as to what to do in the market right now. Joey, can you take the chat away so I can keep on rocking and rolling? Joey helps me out by taking the chat away, but he brings it up so that I can see when I need to see. So we look at our color guard as well. Our color guard tracks 3 of our market timing indicators: the price of the VectorVest composite, the relative timing of the market, is the market in an uptrend or not, and the buy to sell ratio, or BSR, which tells us the overall health of the market. We look at these 18 boxes. We derive their colors by tracking their trends on both a week-over-week and day-over-day basis. If you see a red light today, that means the indicator was lower than it was a week ago and lower than it was a day ago to assign a red tile. Yellow means it was the data was mixed. All right, and actually 52, the price column is lower than it was a week ago and lower than it was a day ago, but the color of the tile was green last week, so it cannot go directly to a red. All right, but the relative timing and the buy to sell ratio can, but the price cannot. So if I'm looking at the color guard, the preponderance of color that I see here is more red than anything, still giving us a bearish flag. All right. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we say where we are in the market. We are in a bear market scenario and have been for a little bit of time now, even while the market was going up, excuse me, and we were getting a lot of flack for that, saying, how can you be in a bear market scenario while the market is still hitting historically new highs? Well, it's not that we just look at the price of the VectorVest composite. We look at the other things that move markets, specifically earnings. And earnings were falling, and the earnings indicator, the earnings trend indicator, had fallen below a value of 1 on our scaling between 0 and 2 and issued a bear market call a little while ago. As a matter of fact, before we get into our first story, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up a graph, and I'm going to bring up a market climate graph. We're one of the only companies that actually give you a view of the climate of the market. Now, this indicator is not useful for trading. This market climate graph gives you a 30,000-foot view of the market, and here's that earnings trend indicator. It is called the S&P earnings VV, and when that indicator went below a value of 1, which happened right about here, probably on the date on or about 5/15 of 2020, thereabouts, a little even, 5/22, a little later than that actually. We were at a level where we were giving a bear market call, and the market was still going up. The market was still going up, and people were like, how can you be in a bear market while the market's going up? We're looking at that earnings on the VectorVest on the S&P 500 to give us a feel of what's going on. Now, understanding this is a 30,000-foot view, and what's happening, the earnings of the S&P 500 still continue to fall, and our valuation of the S&P earnings is falling as well. So you can't trade off of this. This really is a 30,000-foot view, and it's an added value for our subscribers where they won't get this kind of information anyplace else. All right, so I'm going to go back to my home page. I'll minimize that. Let's go back to my home page. Today, all of the major indices that were up this morning are now down. All right, I put the poll out. Yesterday's activity, was that a dead cat bounce or not? Earlier this morning, it looked like we had follow through from the big up day. Now that follow through went away. Now maybe yesterday's bounce was a dead cat bounce as we're getting more follow through to the downside today. So we talked about the color guard and using the colors on the color guard to help us to understand what was going on. So now let's get into our market. our first news, which talks about the market. Now, what moves markets? All right, think about that. What moves markets? Well, we know that the three major movers of the market in our market are earnings, interest, and inflation. Now, not only that, that's what moves markets globally. Earnings, interest, and inflation. And as I get into my first story, we're starting to talk about here the unemployment rate. So who's the biggest mover of the market right now? It's the Fed, right? The Fed is putting a lot of money, a lot of stimulus, everything that they can do to keep our economy buoyed. As we look like we're getting more into a recession because of the pandemic, the Fed is doing everything that it can. It's buying corporate bonds. It's buying the debt. It's doing everything that it can. It's keeping the interest rates low. And another thing that I noticed as a story is that it's letting inflation run a little hotter than it normally would. All right, to start to keep money still going into the economy. But as you start to let inflation get hotter, you're going to start paying more money for stuff, right? If I ain't got the money, though, to buy more stuff because, no, I'm not getting any more stimulus, I don't know how you put that back into the economy. All right, but the unemployment claims held steady last week. So the Fed looks at making sure that people are working and that they keep interest rates and inflation in place, right? The unemployment claims held steady last week, which means there wasn't a big bolster in claims and it didn't drop a lot. And that could be a settling story right now as the pandemic is still in full swing. And country is starting to open back up a little bit with lesser capacity, still trying to put money back into the economy. We're not suited to stay shut down. You do that, you close down the economy, all right, because the money's not going out there. So we're trying to open up. We're trying to get people in schools, the whole 9 yards, to stir up and keep the economy going. So unemployment claims head steady. I'm not going to have to go much more into the story except for knowing that. The next one is the Fed says it needs fiscal support to close the gap between markets and the real economy. Interesting. Markets and the economy are two different things. They are two separate entities. The markets are the stock markets, the bond markets, the options market. The economy really is looking at earnings, interest, and inflation. But it needs to close the gap between what's going on in the market and what's going on in the economy, because right now the pandemic is affecting both on an even playing field. Normally when something happens to one or the other can survive without having to dip into the other side. But right now, the pandemic is grossly affecting both the markets and the economy together. And the Fed is saying we need some more money so that we can put these things back. Right now, it's teeter-tottering back and forth between what's going on in the market, what's going on in the economy. They need more. It comes all down to they need more money. I just saw a story that the Senate just chopped down, all right? And, I don't like to get political in here, but the Senate just chopped down a $30 billion or $300 billion stimulus package. I just saw the headlines on the story. I hadn't had a chance to read into it yet. I just saw the story, and that's hurting Americans who are not working right now or who are looking for unemployment, and the bolster to the unemployment is not there, but even the Fed says we need some more fiscal help. And the last story that I have up here, the Fed's policy shift to let inflation rip higher. That's going to be important. And the story is a opinion piece. It says that it's deeply flawed. I'm on the mindset of if you have higher inflation, things cost more money. You have to pay more money for stuff. And the way that in a Goldilocks scenario in the market, earnings are going higher, inflation and interest rates are lower. We're not in that Goldilocks scenario right now. Earnings are falling. All right. Inflation is rising. The only good story here is that interest rates are still low. And the Fed is right on point with saying, well, no matter what happens in the market, we have to keep interest rates low in order to make sure we don't stymie what little bit we got going on in the economy. Powell said that instead of targeting an annualized inflation rate of 2%, which is right in line with what they've been trying to keep, the institution would allow the rise in the cost of living inflation to go above that rate for long periods. That is a big switch. And the Fed, again, is pouring out everything that it can to keep the economy going. The increase in loans would increase the velocity of money, which is a key metric that measures how fast money moves around the economy. Folks, in order for the economy to keep on going, people need to spend money. But if they're spending it at a higher rate, does that really get people to spend money? Think about that. If I've got to pay more for products, am I really going to am I not going to hold on to my money and wait for the prices to go down? So it could be a little twist there that you want to keep the money flowing in the economy, but if you let if you let inflation rise, you might be doing yourself a disservice. By wanting to increase the rate of inflation higher than its long-standing target, the Fed is saying it wants to reduce the value of your earnings and your savings. All right, so that is tough. So, what do you normally do to save money? You put it in the bank. Well, I got low interest rates. Why am I putting my money in the bank? Where's the money going to go? Money goes where money grows. Money is going to continually go into the market because that is the only place where you can probably get a little return on your money. All right, so those are my stories in regards to what's going on in the market. Those are the things that help to move markets, not only here in the United States, but globally. So now let's get back into the software. All right, and let's go out to our watch list of stocks that we have for this week. Ooh, where do we go? Here we go. Viewers, we're going to go to the watch list viewer, and let's bring up our stocks. It's under the YouTube trending Thursday. This week is 9/10/20. Here's the stocks that are on our list to watch today. All right, we've got 14 stocks to look at, but the two that we look at for the market, for those of you who are not VectorVest subscribers, we look at the spiders, and for those of you who are VectorVest subscribers, we look at the VectorVest composite, which is an indexed arithmetic average of all the stocks that we track, which is about 8,300 stocks. We use this indicator, the VVC, for timing the market. For those of you who are new, when we say time the market, we don't predict which way the market is going to go. We stay and keep our subscribers on the right side of the trend of the market. We are trend followers. So let's take a look at these two. Let's put these on a 3-month graph. As we know, the market got smoked for a couple of days last week coming into this week. This was Friday's data. This was Monday's data. This was Thursday, Friday, Monday we were closed. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Tuesday, we gapped down. We had a little shooting star pattern on the S&P 500, which is possibly a reversal pattern, but we didn't get followed through, so no, that didn't happen. And what's today's candle? Another down day. We were up today at that level of the prior close. But look at that. We filled the gap that we had this morning to the upside. This was that dead cat bounce. A little wick on yesterday's candle, which was some bearish pressure, with today some follow through. This is what we call a bearish engulfing pattern, which could be the onset of more bearishness to come. Now, I will show you this on this graph. Let's give you a level of where low is low. Here we go. Last level of a former level of resistance or high. And for those of you listening by way of podcast, that level that I currently have as a level of support on the spiders is sitting at 326.99, a good level of support. We do have downside to that level. Today, we're currently trading at 335. We have some downside to a level of support of 326. That's just to give you some insight on how low the market could go before you have to start thinking, is that low enough, or is that low, or can we go lower? So that's our first initial step. Let's move over to the VectorVest composite and do the same thing. Here's the VVC, the VectorVest composite. And again, remember, we had given out a bear market scenario on the market, even when the market was moving higher, hitting historically new highs. I caught a lot of flack. How can you guys be bearish on the market or give a bear market scenario while the market's still rising? All that time we were telling our subscribers to be careful, to be cautious. And now we got you prepared so that when this happened, you were not blindsided. All right, so this is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. We will close Monday. There's Friday's data. And we got a big wick on Friday. A big wick to the downside, or on the bottom side of the candle. That was a bullish inclination there. A lot of buying pressure, no follow through on Tuesday. Big gap down, bounce yesterday, and now more follow through to the downside today. So, folks, when I asked the question about are you bullish or bearish on the market, it all depends on you, what you think. I think that we do have some downside. Let me go find my level of the last swing high here. For those of you who are driving or listening by way of podcast, right now I have a level of a floor on the VectorVest composite. Actually, I have a level of support already for me here. Let me take this line off. I've got a level of support sitting at about $48.47, while the VectorVest composite is currently trading at $49.74. We got about $1 move on the downside of the VVC. So that's where we stand. We see what stories are bringing to the forefront what's going on in the market. We've now taken a look at those indicators to give you a sense of what's going on and where the market is possibly going to go. Understand this, I will not prognosticate. That's my big word of the day. I will never prognosticate where the market is going to go. I'm going to always teach you. Take what the market gives you. Let the market come to you. Let the market come to you. You're going to have up days. Play the up days. You're going to have down days. Play the down days. If you're a longer-term investor, make sure you have good stops on your long-term positions. If you're a shorter-term investor, this is ideally suited for you.